Welcome to Ghouls Night Out with your hostesses, Brandy and Jody. Welcome, beautiful ghouls. This is Brandy. I'm here with my sister, Jody.
Hello. Why'd you say my name weird?
What did I say?
You sounded like you were from, what's that accent? Michigan? Jody?
I'm sorry. Jody.
Thanks. Hi.
I didn't mean it. There's cat fur everywhere.
I know. I need to do the lint thing.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Sorry. Okay, this is the second episode that we were recording tonight, so we are pretty tipsy. So this should be a good one.
Yes.
Okay, good. We are having cat issues already, so if the cat interrupts us, you know what's happening. So we are going to talk about Nevada this week, or this episode. Okay, this is what's happening. So we skipped a week because...
Technical issues.
Sure. Mm-hmm. And we are recording 2 episodes tonight because we are going to release 2 episodes the week of Christmas. So this should be released on Friday the 28th, I believe. So that's what's happening. So you guys know and you're caught up. So Nevada is the state that we are covering this week. Do you want me to start with the fun facts?
Sure.
Okay. You might think of it as the gambling state, but silver ore helped put Nevada on the map. In 1859, discovery of the Comstock lode triggered a silver rush and population boom. Nevada's location and mineral wealth made it an attractive potential Union state during the Civil War, and so it was. That's why Nevada is also known as the battle-born state.
Okay.
2, California is known as the Golden State, but most U.S. gold comes from Nevada. I didn't know that. In Spanish, Nevada means snow-capped, but if you say the state's name with the Spanish pronunciation, Nevada, you probably don't live there. Don't laugh at me.
Sorry.
Locals usually pronounce it Nevada. So, Nevada or Nevada. That's what it says. Don't laugh at me. Okay. Nevada was originally inhabited by the Paiute, Shoshana, and Washoe tribes. The first permanent non-native settlement, built in 1851, belonged to a different group, the Mormons. Only 18 states have an official state grass. Nevada and Utah share the same one, Indian ricegrass, a popular food among bison, jackrabbits, and people on gluten-free diets. Okay. So if you want to eat like a bison or a jackrabbit, go to Nevada or Utah. Nevada is also one of 7 U.S. states with no individual income tax. It doesn't collect corporate income tax either.
Well, I need to move to Nevada.
Yeah.
Or Nevada.
Nevada or Nevada. I don't think there's a difference. Okay, number 7, the iconic Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign was created by a 35-year-old graphic designer, Betty Willis, in 1959. She never trademarked the design, calling it her gift to the city, and Willis continued to work in neon signage until she was 77.
Wow.
That's interesting. With fewer than 10 inches of rain per year, Nevada is the driest state in the U.S. Nevada is the 7th largest state in size, and about 86% of its land is owned by the federal government. From 1951 to 1992, 928 nuclear tests were performed at Nevada State Test Site, just 65 miles north of Las Vegas. 928 nuclear tests. That is insane. Number 10, Nevada is the only U.S. state to legalize prostitution, but only in the form of regulated brothels in the counties with populations under 400,000. So all that prostitution that occurs in bigger cities like Reno and Las Vegas is illegal and thriving. So I bet you anything, a lot of people are under the assumption that prostitution is legal in Las Vegas and Reno, and it's not.
Yeah, because that's what I've always heard.
Yeah. And I guarantee, I mean, like, that is, I mean, who are you going to blame other than the cops than not enforcing it?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, number 11. While several states don't have laws banning public intoxication, Nevada is the only one that specifically prohibits only local and state laws from making it a public offense. It also has a statewide law allowing the 24-hour sale of booze from bars, restaurants, and stores. So it sounds like, to me, I've never been to Las Vegas or Nevada, and it sounds like to me that a lot of laws are just kind of floating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, they just think that it's legal, so they do it, and if they get caught, okay. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. Number 12, a well-known tourism slogan, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Though different versions of the saying have been used over the years by various groups, what happens here stays here was first used in Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority ad campaigns in December of 2002. The Las Vegas advertising firm R&R Partners created the slogan and controversially bought the trademark from Authority for $1. I bet they made millions off of that.
Oh, yeah, they definitely have.
That's fucked up. 13, Hoover Dam, located on the border of Nevada and Arizona, was a massive undertaking. Ideas for the dam had been investigated since 1900, but the project wasn't authorized until 1928. The construction began in 1931, and Hoover Dam was the largest dam in the world, 726 feet high and 1,244 feet long when it was completed in 1935. It was the largest producer of hydroelectric power in the world until 1948. 14. Hoover Dam was originally called Boulder Dam. In 1947, it was renamed after Herbert Hoover, who negotiated the Colorado River Compact as the U.S. Secretary of Commerce before becoming the 31st U.S. President. 12 years earlier, Hoover hadn't even invented the dam's dedication ceremony. Number 15, Reno is farther west than Los Angeles. Which is fucking weird.
Yeah.
Those are all of the facts that I have for Nevada.
All right. I am doing Ghosts of Nevada. The first one is Silver Queen Hotel in Virginia City. An old Nevada hotel which is said to be haunted by the spirit of a prostitute is the Silver Queen Hotel in Virginia City. Room number 11 is said to be haunted by a female spirit named Rosie, a young prostitute who actually committed suicide in the late 1800s in the room's bathroom by slitting her own wrists.
Oh, God.
She makes her presence known by rattling doorknobs, phantom footsteps, and disembodied voices within room 11.
That's sad.
Yeah. The next one is Bonnie Springs Ranch in Las Vegas. Bonnie Springs Ranch in Las Vegas is a Western-themed amusement park which gives people a look at life back in the Old West. It is also said to be very haunted. Some of the activity that has been reported here includes a little girl who appears in the schoolhouse and a merry-go-round that turns all on its own on dry and windless days.
Ooh.
The Wax Museum is a common place to hear unexplained voices, and some of the wax figures have been said to move on their own. Hell no.
Oh, my God.
I would be out of there so fast.
That would be creepy.
They're creepy anyway. If they're moving?
Yeah, exactly. That reminds me of that story that you posted about that, like, dummy, that marionette that moves on its own.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh, it's creepy.
No way.
Look up our Facebook page, you guys. School's Night Out.
The Opera House is also a hive of paranormal activity with people witnessing shadow figures in various spots. One guest even caught Even caught one on camera. Odin, stop it. The owners love to play up the haunted aspect, and every Halloween they transform the ranch into Bonnie Screams, a haunted Halloween attraction. However, from the stories that are linked to the property, it is haunted enough on an average day. The next one, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Mackey or McKay Mansion in Virginia City. I'm just going to say Mackey.
Okay.
Or no, I'm going to say McKay.
Okay.
The McKay Mansion was built in 1860 and served as the home of John Mackey. I guess I'm going to say Mackey. One of the so-called Silver Kings of Virginia City. It is now a museum and is said to be one of the most haunted places in the state. Many of the guests who come to visit the museum say that they have seen apparitions of a colonel in the kitchen and a little girl in a white dress in several of the rooms. Staff say that they often hear the little girl playing upstairs when nobody is up there. Yellow Jacket Mine in Silver City. The Yellow Jacket Mine in Silver City is one of the most haunted places in Nevada thanks to a fire that ripped through the mine in 1869. The fire is said to have killed more than 35 miners, but not all the bodies were able to be recovered. This is perhaps the reason why up to 11 spirits are still haunting the mine. Are you guys having fun?
I'm sorry.
I don't think you are. You don't sound like you are.
I'm listening.
Abraham Curry House in Carson City. The Abraham Curry House was built in 1871 by Carson City founder Abraham Curry. Unfortunately, he died in 1873 from a stroke, so he never really had much of a chance to enjoy it. However, it seems that Mr. Curry has been returning to the house since his death. At first, it was to check on the family that he left behind so suddenly, but even after the family was long gone, his apparition has been spotted in the building. The house is currently a private law office, and many of the staff still see Mr. Curry wandering around the property.
That'd be creepy. That's one thing I'm so worried about when I go to work. It's like seeing like creepy shit, because that's your place of work. You know what I mean? Like you don't expect to see anything creepy there.
I work for a company that it started in Japan, okay?
Oh, okay.
So their bathrooms, they have automatic everything.
Right.
They have heated seats.
Oh.
It's got a bidet on it and everything, okay? So there was one time when one of the sinks just turned on by itself.
Oh, no.
And then there was another time the sink, you would turn it on and it wouldn't shut off. But it's technology. Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't have anything to do with ghosts.
Yeah.
But I can't help it from entering my mind. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the sink. That's all right.
Yeah, I mean, your mind automatically goes there. Mm-hmm. And because, I mean, it never does that before.
No, but there was definitely something wrong with it. They had to come and fix it.
Oh.
So. It's still creepy at first, though, because you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? It came on by itself. Old Washoe Club, Virginia City. The Old Washoe Club in Virginia City was originally built back in the 1870s, and at the time it was an upper-class club for the rich. One of the most commonly reported spirits that are said to haunt the club today is an apparition of a blonde woman known as Lena, who was believed to have been a prostitute. She is often seen on the spiral staircase. Lena was actually murdered in a bedroom on the 3rd floor of the building, and her murderer, who committed suicide on the 2nd floor, is also seen in the club from time to time. In addition to the spirits of Lena and her killer, there are also reports of the apparition of a teenage girl who was actually murdered in the basement.
Oh, shit.
Shit. The place has had a lot of stuff going on. Nevada Governor's Mansion in Carson City. The Governor's Mansion in Carson City was first occupied in 1909 by Governor Danvers S. Dickerson and his family. It is now said to be haunted by his wife Una and their daughter June. Many say that it is one of the most haunted houses in the entire United States.
Oh, shit.
That remains up for debate, but it is certainly one of the most haunted places in Nevada at the very least. Visitors to the mansion always comment on the cold spot throughout the mansion, and both of the female spirits have been spotted on occasion.
Ooh.
That's weird. If it's supposed to be like one of the most haunted places in the United States, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, really.
That's weird. Westgate Hotel in Las Vegas. The big claim to fame of the Westgate Hotel is that it was a favorite of the king himself, Mr. Elvis Presley. It seems like Elvis may not have left the building because it is said he is the ghost that is haunting the hotel. Originally, the Westgate Hotel was known as Las Vegas Hilton, and even before that, it was the International Hotel. It was during this time, beginning July 1969 and spanning 7 years, that Elvis broke and reset numerous world records with performances for 2.5 million fans. Some say that this was the site of his greatest success, so it makes sense that he would want to hang around here. Ever since his death in 1977, Elvis's spirit has been seen and heard at various places within the hotel. Goldfield Hotel in Goldfield. The Goldfield Hotel is one of the most notorious haunted locations in all of Nevada. It is well known to fans of the paranormal and has been featured on several paranormal television shows, with even national news programs running segments on the potential evidence gathered here. It now stands abandoned and is boarded up, but it opened in 1908 by George Wingfield, and his presence is still felt there today. The most famous ghost that has been encountered in the Goldfield Hotel is a young woman named Elizabeth. The legend states that she was a favorite of the hotel's owner, George Wingfield, and he visited her with some frequency. However, when Elizabeth became pregnant with his child, he was concerned for his reputation in business, so he lured her into room number 109 at the hotel and kept her chained to the radiator until she gave birth. I've actually heard of this before.
Yeah, me too.
She died in the room, and her baby was allegedly killed and thrown down a nearby mine shaft. Elizabeth has been seen in room 109 wearing a long white dress and looking sad. She has also been heard crying, and some visitors have heard what sounds like her chains clanking on the radiator.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth is not the only spirit that hangs out in the Goldfield Hotel. It is also believed that George Wingfield is there also, and that he is still tormenting poor Elizabeth even in death. At least one former staff member is also haunting the hotel, having committed suicide in the building. There are also reports of a very dark and malevolent entity on the upper floors, and there have been many different reports of poltergeist activity.
Oh, shit.
Mizpah Hotel in Tonopah.
Sounds right.
Okay. The Mizpah Hotel was built back in 1907 and is now believed to be haunted, mainly by the lost souls of some of the prostitutes who lived and worked there in the early days of the hotel. The most active of these spirits is known as the Lady in Red. She is very affectionate. She has been known to rub up against male visitors or run her fingers through their hair. On the odd occasion, she has also been known to appear speaking to the ghost of a miner who is perhaps one of her former clients. The most common story regarding her backstory is that the Lady in Red was a prostitute who was beaten to death by a client or boyfriend, but others say that she was a woman killed by her husband when he caught her cheating with him.
Either way, fuck you guys.
Yeah. Whatever the real story is, one thing is sure, she is now tied to the Mizpah Hotel for eternity. And then I've got a couple hotels.
Okay.
Bally's Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. With its signature neon lighting wrapped around the sidewalk, Bally's Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada continues to be one of the best in the Strip. Talk of hauntings is among the many things which continues to draw visitors to the hotel. And then we've got the Flamingo Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Located in downtown Las Vegas, the Flamingo Hotel and Casino was once billed as the world's most luxurious Hotel. Today it has remained very popular among gambling folks and paranormal researchers. Bugsy Siegel is said to be one of the many spirits that still gamble here.
With the fact that Las Vegas seems to be a very old, because, I mean, that's one of the cities that they never sleep. You know, so, I mean, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, you know, all these people have hung out there constantly. You know, all these places have that residual energy.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a very, very haunted place anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that all these places have these different stories, you know, I mean, it's just, I can't imagine it being any more than any of the other places in there. So it seems like anywhere that you go in Nevada, it's going to be haunted and crazy, you know, who knows?
Yeah. I'd like to go there sometime. I'm not
too.
much of a gambler. I would
Yeah.
just like to go to see, just to see it.
It's history.
Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere that you go, it's history. And, you know, placing a bet here and there won't kill anyone, but
No.
yeah, I would really like to go. Okay, so I did mine this episode about ghost ships that mysteriously disappeared at sea
Cool.
and were never found. So in November of 1872, the captain of the Mary Celeste, Benjamin Briggs, set sail from New York to Italy. He was traveling with his wife, his daughter, and 8 other shipmates. On December 4th of the same year, the Mary Celeste was discovered, abandoned by her crew, and set adrift in the Atlantic Ocean. According to the men of the British ship who found her, which was the Dei Gracia, the ship completely intact with plenty of food and water to last her 6 months more of sailing. The ship's log was written up to the 24th of November, and the ship's only lifeboat was missing. To this day, nobody knows what caused the crew and the passengers of the Mary Celeste to abandon a perfectly seaworthy ship in the middle of the Atlantic, but the only thing anyone knows for sure is that the ship's occupants left in a hurry. The captain of the Dei Gracia wrote in his log that the crewmen of the Mary Celeste had left behind their smoking pipes, and to him this seemed to be a clear sign that the crew had abandoned the ship in panic. Today, the mystery of the Mary Celeste has not been explained, and many theories have been broached, including mutiny, madness, and murder, but none have held water. So it's a complete mystery.
It's weird.
Yeah, and I guess the fact that they left their smoking pipes behind was like unheard of. You know what I mean? So that was like their main thing as to why they left in a hurry. Very weird. Next one, in June of 1947, an officer aboard the British vessel of Silver Star picked up a mysterious, unsettling distress signal. It said, "All officers, including captain, are lying dead in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead." Silence crackled across the line, and then one simple sentence, "I die." The message was picked up by several other ships in the area, but the Silver Star reached the source first. It was the Dutch frightener Orang Medan, floating adrift in the Straits of Malacca. I don't know where that is. The Star's officer and crew boarded the ship to find bodies strewn about the decks, their faces fixed in a cry of pain. Even the ship's dog was dead. The bodies were unharmed. There was no sign of injury or attack. Before any further investigation could be done, however, the crew of the Silver Star smelled smoke and quickly abandoned the ship. They boarded their own vessel to escape and cut the ties to the Orang Medan and sailed away. Within seconds, the ship exploded, leaving only empty water and debris in its wake.
That's really weird.
I know. That's crazy. To this day, no one knows what really happened to the Orang Medan in the seconds before the ship of the Silver Star arrived. As far as anyone knows, the ship murdered its captain, passengers, and crew, killing them without a trace. Some people believe that the ship was carrying biological weapons manufactured by the Japanese, but the mystery remains unsolved, and the ship lives on in infamy that rivals the mystery of even the Mary Celeste.
What year was that?
That was 1947.
It makes you wonder with these kind of stories. It was, back in the day where they didn't have the technology that we have now.
Yeah.
To figure out exactly what happened. Mm-hmm. So, either the first story or this one, it could have been something, that nowadays we could figure out pretty quickly.
Absolutely. Yeah. With any ship and airplane, anything, they have like the black boxes and they can figure out what happened. And I think that's why they put them on, these travel vessels.
Yeah.
In order to figure out, because if something happens, they're out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's ever going to know what happened, who they encountered, if it was pirates, if it was a giant squid, you don't fucking
you have
know.
no idea. It's funny. I just think it's cool to think about.
It is. Yeah, because you're right. With the technology that we have these days, we can't get away with half of the stuff that we could get away with 50 years ago.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, it's very interesting. Because you could, D.B. Cooper, that shit would never happen nowadays.
No.
You would know exactly who that guy was, where he was.
With shit anymore.
No, you're recorded everywhere. Everywhere. So, yeah, these mysteries that happened back in the day, you just don't fucking know if it was someone robbing them or if it was...
Like that second one, or that one you just did, it could have been like some kind of chemical.
Exactly.
It dissipated by the time everyone else got there.
Right. And it's just a complete mystery. Yeah, you wouldn't have these stories these days. All right, next one is the Flying Dutchman. First appeared in popular folklore in Holland. For years, Dutch sailors told the tale of the cursed sea captain, doomed forever to sail around the Cape of Good Hope. German sailors voyaging in this area of the world collaborated the legend, saying that they had seen each a ship. The tale emerged out of folklore and into reliable reports in the 19th century. One 1835 ship's log stated that Flying Dutchman appeared out of nowhere in a storm with all sails unfurled, bearing down on them. Later in 1881, another ship's log wrote that the Flying Dutchman passed them, emitting an eerie red light. The same red light pops up in a tale told by two other ships in the surrounding area. How many logs and reports constitute a real phenomenon? Which, that's that for that story.
Yeah.
So right there, again, it's technology and it's communication and it's everything that we have these days that we did not have back in the day. So if we had the technology and communication that we have today back then, this would not be a mystery, most likely.
So that tells me if there's any current stories like this, then there's something weird going on.
Exactly. Those are the stories that are really interesting. But yeah, next one was in 1761. The Octavius loaded up with cargo from China and set sail for London. The crew would never be seen alive again. The captain of the Octavius thought it would be a great idea to try a shortened trip back to London by making the Arctic Passage, a trip that had never been made successfully. So they set sail northward. It was a mistake that would cost every member of the crew his life. The ship was missing for 13 years. Finally, in 1775, a whaling ship, the Herald, was sailing just off the coast of Greenland when it spotted the Octavius floating in the icy waters. Crew of the Herald boarded the Octavius and found the ship's upright frozen to death. While the middle of the penning, a ship's log dated 1762, the crew of the Herald fled the ship immediately, leaving the Octavius to continue to wander the Arctic Ocean. Nobody has seen the ghost ship since.
It's because it sunk.
Yeah. Next one, the Young Teaser wasn't an innocent merchant ship or cruise ship making a return trip home. No, the Young Teaser was a pirate ship, an incredibly fast one. In 1813, the Young Teaser had made several successful raids across the coast of Nova Scotia when she was cornered in Mohan Bay by a Nova Scotian schooner captained by Sir John Sherbrooke. Just moments before the British boarding parties would approach the boat, the Young Teaser exploded. According to reports, the first officer of the privateer had been seen rushing to the magazine, fire in hand. The story of the Young Teaser might not seem like something too crazy, but pirates chose suicide over capture. The Teaser had inspired one of Nova Scotia's most famous ghost stories, the story of the Teaser Light. According to folklore, an orange glow can be seen in Mohan Bay, and one can hear the crew screaming in the foggy night. Accounts say this happens every year on the anniversary of the explosion, June 27th. That's creepy. Next one, on March 1st, 1858, the huge steamboat Eliza Battle caught fire in what would become the biggest maritime disaster in Tombigbee River, which flows between the Mississippi and Alabama. 33 people died. The ship had been loaded with over 1,200 bales of cotton. Sometime during the night of March 1st, a strong north wind began to blow, and somehow the cotton bales on the deck caught fire. The flames soon engulfed the ship, and the passengers and crew jumped overboard. Today, people still tell tales of sightings of the Eliza Battle floating down the river, wreathed in fire, and the sounds of 33 people screaming in pain and calling out for help. Next one, in 1906, the SS Valencia was caught in a terrible storm off the coast of British Columbia. The ship was carrying 108 passengers. Only 37 of these were eventually rescued, and the ship itself became the subject of ghost stories from that day forward. It began in 1910 when the Seattle Times reported sightings of a phantom ship that resembled the Valencia adrift in the area. Other reports from fishermen around British Columbia told the story of a lifeboat manned entirely by skeletons. Could you fucking imagine seeing the freaking Pirates of the Caribbean in real life?
No. Those are awesome movies.
I know. But stranger still, in 1933, the Valencia's number 5 lifeboat was found empty in Barkley Sound. Even after years of exposure to the harsh oceanic elements, the lifeboat was completely untouched and unharmed. Part of it is now on display at the Maritime Museum of British Columbia, while the wreckage of the Valencia was eventually found near the 100-foot-high bluff. This one detail has never been explained. That's crazy. Next one, in the year of 1748, just before Valentine's Day, the Lady Lovibond was sailing the high seas in honor of its captain's wedding. Unfortunately for the captain, his best friend had been in love with his new bride, and in a fit of jealousy, he ran the ship around on the Goodwin Sands of the English Channel, killing everyone on board.
That's great.
Since then, there have been many reported sightings of the ship. The captain of the Enbridge reported that he nearly collided with the 3-masted vessel of the Goodwin Sands, and the captain of the smaller fishing schooner reported the same. Many thought the ship had run aground, but no wreckage or survivors were ever found in the nearby sands. 50 years later, local residents in Kent saw a ship with 3 masts heading on a collision course with the Goodwin Sands. Like before, the rescue party was sent, yet no survivors or wreckage were ever found. That is creepy. Could you imagine having a report of like a airplane crash, and then you turn up to the spot and there's nothing there.
Yeah,
That would be creepy.
yes, it would.
Okay. Next one, in 1955, the MV Joyada was overdue for its return home. 5 weeks after its missed return date, the ship was found 600 miles off course in the South Pacific, completely abandoned and in bad condition. No distress signals had ever been received. The ship had never run into bad weather. The crewmen exclaiming that the ship smelled of decay and found no signs of foul play or dead bodies anywhere. They did find a doctor's bag on deck, however, littered with bloody bandages. To this day, all anyone knows is that the crew had abandoned ship. The pipes may have been corroded and the radio may not have worked due to faulty wiring, but investigators still haven't pieced together why the crew didn't simply stay aboard and wait for help. That's weird. Why would you abandon a ship?
Well, where did they abandon to? They just jump overboard and die?
I don't know.
That's weird.
That's weird. And my last one, in January 29th of 1921, the schooner Carol A. Deering was returning home from Hamptons Road to Barbados when she passed the Cape Lookout lightship. Something seemed a little off to the captain of the lightship. He reported that the Carol's crew had seemed intact, but they wandered idly around on the deck of the ship. The crewman, who didn't look or act as if he was in charge, told the lightship's captain that the Carol had lost her anchors. The ship was later spotted by the SS Lake Elon, behaving strangely and steering on a particular course. After that, the ship had just disappeared. 2 days later, on January 31st, the Coast Guard discovered the Carol run aground in the outer Sculls. The weather was too treacherous for a better look, but C.P. Brady of the Cape Hatteras Coast Guard station reported that the ship was missing her lifeboats and the decks were covered with water. Later, when the weather was better, another Coast Guard ship showed up to investigate further. They found that the ship was missing all of its important papers, equipment, and personal belongings. The lifeboats were indeed missing. They were the anchors, and this wasn't a strange find for a ship run aground in dangerous waters, but then the crew found something that had baffled conspiracy theorists to this day: a meal, perfectly laid out for the entire crew, untouched. There have been all sorts of theories about the ghost ship. Some believe that the crew mutinied. Others think that the ship was stolen by rogue Russians. Due to the proximity of the location, some believe that the Bermuda Triangle might be to blame for the crew's disappearance, and the ship was scrapped in 1921, but the mystery still remains.
That is so weird to me when they come across someplace that's deserted, but there are signs that, like, they were making dinner, or
yes,
there's dinner on the table, but it's just
no one.
Yeah, no one's touched it.
Yes.
Or
yes, that is the craziest thing to me.
Yeah.
And I've talked about it before with the missing colonies.
Yes.
And it's always food.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like these people are in the middle of making dinner, which is something, I do it every day. It's something at a certain time of the day that's just where your mind automatically goes. It's dinner time. Mm-hmm. And you start making this meal, and things might happen in between there, but it's something so normal, and it's something that you do every day, and it's...
Yeah, what happens so that you don't make it to that meal?
Exactly.
It's just weird.
Exactly. And, it's like, if something happens in between that time, that makes sense, but what? These ships and these colonies, and they just abandon their meal, and that is the weirdest thing, because, everyone, you gotta eat. Everyone's got to eat.
Well, not only that, you took the time to prepare it.
Exactly.
It's got to be something significant.
Exactly.
For you to not eat what you just made.
Yes, it's crazy.
Especially back in the day, because it was a lot harder to make it back then than it is now.
Yeah.
All right, it is time for the witty wrap-up.
Yay, witty wrap-up!
And And by the time you guys are listening to this podcast, Christmas will be over.
Yes.
So, I did crappy Christmas gifts.
Oh, that's great.
So, it was a shirt that had, "I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll take a look anyway." It was from my stepdad's mom. She knows I want to be a doctor, and her English is no bueno. I found it hilarious. Once we translated it to her, she almost cried from embarrassment. I proudly wore it for the rest of the day.
That is hilarious. Oh my gosh.
That poor mom.
I know. Oh.
I had left some video games in my mom's room. She found them and assumed my dad had bought them as Christmas gifts for me. So for Christmas, I got my own games. A gift card to a lingerie store from my grandma. The fucked up part wasn't the gift itself, but the fact that she made my poor 19-year-old brother go in and buy it.
What?
As he told it, the conversation went something like this. Cashier: "Shopping for your girlfriend?" Brother: "No, my sister." "Well, my grandma." Awkward silence.
Yeah, both of those don't sound right.
No, they don't sound good at all.
Oh my gosh, poor guy.
One Christmas, I got 18 pairs of socks. I was probably 12, and I tried really hard to look grateful and thank my parents. But with each pair I opened, I got progressively more upset. It didn't help my brother was tearing through his toys and video games. I ended up excusing myself to go to the bathroom and started crying.
Oh.
My mom came and got me and asked me what was wrong. She said to stop crying and come back to the living room. She then gave me my real gift, a laptop. The reason I got socks was because my mom just wanted me to have something to unwrap because my brother had a lot of cheaper stuff, where I had one bigger thing. I felt incredibly spoiled and embarrassed. Definitely a happy ending.
Aww.
That would be horrifying, though.
I know.
Socks after socks after socks.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed.
Well, when your sibling is over there like, oh my god.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't blame him
Aw.
or her or whatever
I
at all.
know.
My grandma gave me bright red undies with googly eyes on them and an extra piece of black cloth to put your dick inside as the nose. I'm a girl. Grandmas should just give gift cards. That's horrible.
A black cloth to put your dick inside.
Could you imagine her face when she opened?
Oh my god. Oh shit.
All right. I got a book called Coping with Being Adopted from Santa while I was in high school. It was news to me. That's horrible.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
A wooden pop-out play set for my aunt. Recommended age was 2 to 4. I was 14.
Oh, that's really sad. That's when you know that your family does not want you to grow up.
No.
Aw.
This wasn't my gift, but it was the most awkward situation ever. So a few years ago, my grandma had her eggs amputated.
Oh.
Did I say eggs?
I think you said.
Let's try that again.
I think you said eggs lamputated.
So a few years ago, my grandma had her legs amputated. Don't feel bad. Since then, her health has improved a ton. Anyway, last Christmas, my aunt bought her socks. It was so awful. That is not right.
That's horrible. That's horrible.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh my god. That's horrible. Who the fuck would do that?
She must have been confused.
Oh my god.
Okay. My uncle got me a giant block of cement once. He put random things throughout the block and gave me a miniature hammer and chisel. I actually chiseled through the whole thing and found some coins and what appeared to be an arrowhead. My uncle is the strange one in our family.
I would actually kind of like that.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
3 years ago, I got a shake weight Christmas morning. When I opened it, my dad laughed and yelled, "It's for practice when you get bored in the dorms."
No!
While making a jacking off hand job gesture in front of my grandparents. Oh, definitely a dad thing to do.
Definitely a dad joke.
When I was a kid, my grandma heavily favored me over my little sister. One year, she bought me a cool set of Pokemon, which was my absolutely favorite thing at the time. She bought my sister a Weasel Ball, a toy meant for cats. How rude.
Oh, she probably didn't know.
Like I said, grandmas and grandpas should buy a gift card.
Yes. I think they're made for grandparents.
Mm-hmm. Every year, my family does a Secret Santa on Christmas. When I was about 10, my aunt had to buy me a gift. So Christmas morning, I open my gift and I find a Christmas sweater along with a pair of my aunt's shit-stained underwear. Apparently, she was doing laundry and wrapping gifts at the same time.
No!
And got the two mixed up.
No! No!
Oh my gosh. The look on your face if you open that.
Do you imagine the thought in your mind when you open that?
Not at all.
Oh my god! No! Okay.
My sister got a bag of Kroger shredded cheese from my aunt one year.
What? What?
It wasn't even a name brand. It was Kroger brand. Cheese.
What the fuck?
She's like, oh shit! I forgot to get Sarah a Christmas gift.
What is there,
What do I
like
have?
socks in the fridge?
No, she forgot to get a gift altogether, so she started looking around her house.
Oh
and
my
she was
god,
like,
cheese is the last thing you should wrap for a
oh my
present.
gosh.
Oh my god.
Grandma got me a douche and a hospital gown that would quote make a nice dress if someone sewed it all up for me.
What?
That was weird.
Oh my god.
Edit. I'm a girl. Grandma also had severe diabetes and dementia. She is
Aw.
lovely otherwise. Now she just gives me money instead of gifts. She also thinks nurses are trying to steal her teeth. So there's that.
Aw. God, that's sad.
In the late 70s, all the cool kids wore Ocean Pacific brand clothing. We were kind of poor, so my mom and grandma made most of our clothes. My grandma made me pants and hand-stitched the letters OP on the pockets. Looked nothing like the real thing. I had to wear them.
Aw, that's really sweet.
All right, my last one. I had mentioned to my uncle one year that I wished I could grow a beard like his. Come Christmas time, my uncle hands me the present he got me. I unwrapped it, and what do you know? It's his beard in a Ziploc bag.
Ew, no! Why? Are you serious? No. What the fuck? What is wrong with people? Oh my god. No. No, that is not okay.
It's kind of funny, though.
It's funny, but ew. Oh my god. So was that it?
That was it.
All right. Well, thank you guys again so much for listening. We appreciate it so much. Email us your stories. We want to hear anything for the Witty Wrap Up. Anything, crazy experiences that you've had, found in walls, anything that you have that you think that we might find interesting, ghouls.nightoutpodcast@gmail.com. Happy New Year. You guys be safe, and thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next week.
Later.
Bye.